Alright, what's up guys? So we're going to be breaking down the throne room fight scene and finding out if this is actually a great duel or not, because I've been hearing a lot of chatter about how great the sequels are with the lightsaber duels. So the first thing I am going to point out, and I don't necessarily take issue with this, it's more just the cinematography trick, but the guards on Kylo Ren's side especially, you can see how one will attack, they move away. The other will attack, they move away, and they kind of cycle through, like literally all three have their hit and then spin away in this little circle. There is a lot of spinning just throughout this whole thing. You can see this guy, the closest to the camera, he's spinning. One of the dudes just ran off scene because he did a big spin. So it's it's just kind of like I don't know. It's very superfluous. Superfluous? Superfluous. I think I had it right the first time. Superfluous. The other thing too is, all right, Kylo Ren is the best ducker in the game. Like you'll see throughout this fight, he ducks like 3 times or something like that. So that man knows how to bend over, and it just to me is like, um, he just leaves himself so exposed so many times. And Rey's not much better at all. Thankfully, her 3 guards are definitely more incompetent. Here you can see how instead of using, like somehow she pins all 3 of their weapons at once. And again, I don't necessarily take issue with this, but the likelihood of all 3 of those weapons being at the same spot at the same time so that a lightsaber, which is kind of a thin cylinder when we're talking about the shape, manages to pin all 3 down. And I'm not even sure how that worked too, based on the actual shape of these weapons the Praetorian guards are wielding. The other question I have too is, like, we see in later in this fight, one of the weapons gets chopped off, or goes flying, a piece of it. And so the question here is, like, we have a lightsaber presumably pressing down on these weapons. Would they not just melt? I mean, I don't know. Something to think about. So I just don't really buy it. And also these are supposed to be the elite of the elites. Okay. Oh, there's too much. There's too much. It's every like second there's something. Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you caught that, but Kylo Ren just warded off an attack from one of the Praetorian guards who, like usual, bounces off screen. He's running away. And then Kylo Ren stabs the ground with his broadsword. And I really can't figure out why. I don't get it. Another thing you'll see is this guard behind him. He was exposed, so actually we can go back for a second there. Pay attention to the guard. So this guard attacks, Kylo Ren wards it off, and then the guard behind him, instead of just stabbing forward, he swings at him like a wide sweeping arc so that Kylo Ren can once again duck. And like it's oh man, these are supposed to be the elite of the elites. I just I don't know, like, if he should just stab forward in this moment. Like, if I was a Praetorian drill sergeant, I'd be like, Praetorian God, get on the ground, give me 20 now, because it's just, what is going on? Like, why? So he completely missed Kylo Ren's exposed side. And even here, this dude on the right, it just looks like they're aiming for the weapon. You'll see he swings, and it looks like he's aiming for the weapon. And then, I don't know what it is, but you can see over here, not to echo myself from earlier, he's running off screen again. These two, like, what are they actually doing here? So these are the questions. Okay, there you could see this guard. He swings right at Kylo Ren's lightsaber. This guard is completely exposing his back because he's not afraid. He's not concerned. He knows that Rey is going to go back up Kylo Ren in this moment. Okay, and she does. She reaches around him with her super burning hot weapon and stabs one of the guards through the chest, while the 3 that she was contending with, they give her a moment because they're like, hey, you know, we're going to let you relax. We just want you to recover. Like, one of them's off screen again. Who knows why? Uh, Periodically, it's like they go, they take a water break, then they jump back in. So, okay, she turns to fight. Guess what? All three attack the same exact spot again. And she puts her hand around Kylo Ren's hip. So, I mean, making a little bit of a move mid battle. Got to have that balance while she holds off three guards at once. It's impressive. Her strength is impressive here. Also, Kylo Ren managed to make one of the Praetorian guards stab his own, so that's impressive. There's just a lot going on here. It's really remarkable. Slices him. Oh, okay, Kylo Ren is contending. I'm sure you just caught that. He hits him with his fist. I don't know if that was the best decision to hit a helmet with his fist. It looks like the same material as the van braces, and the van braces, you'll see one of the guards later on actually slices across his van brace, and I think even potentially blocks the lightsaber with it. So it seems like hard armor. So I'm not exactly sure why Kylo Ren punched him. He also can't see, which is maybe why he's making some of these decisions, right? And it's very blurry. That to me doesn't exactly look like Adam Diver. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Now I'm just picking. Now I'm just bitter. Okay, so Rey's over here. Wow. Does a spinning ballerina kick. Again, bold move. Not sure why she did that. Okay, kills one of them. Here we go. The Whipmaster. So he starts tangling it up. Yeah, there you can see. All right, his van braces, right? He's holding it. The lightsaber, I don't think he touches. I'm pretty sure there's a block later. Spins it around. Of course, is able to stab it through him. All right, and flings it. So this guard breaks it in two. That's actually, I mean, so one thing I'll say about this scene is the setting is awesome. Like they really do a great job with the visuals, the colors. I mean, it's really great, and that's why I think it's so famous. But when you actually like break down the scene for what it is, it's pretty rough. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like it's just, it's so. Wait a second. Wait a second. All right, check this out. All right. All right. A third guard comes to face him. So he's fighting two. A third guard comes to face him. Bro just tosses his weapon. Like, what? Oh, I have no words. What? He tosses his weapon. So Kylo Ren stabs him through conveniently because he tosses his weapon to the side. I mean, oh my gosh. All right, and then he gets the Emperor's death, but we know that that didn't actually kill the Emperor, right? So, uh, according to the sequels, that is. But oh man, okay. So this one guy, he kind of nicks Rey right there. Kylo Ren's facing off. So one thing about Kylo Ren too is right, he wields this kind of like broadsword style of saber, and that's not uncommon. I mean, Count Dooku, for there to be like a specific style to the weapon, Count Dooku, it's pretty well known. Had the curvature in his lightsaber handle and fought with more of like a fencing style. Kylo Ren's got the broadsword thing going, which which is fine, except to me he doesn't look well trained. He looks sloppy. He's just kind of like Rey right there. He's swinging it around wildly, like big over exaggerated swings. With the broadsword you do want wide sweeping swings. The point is to keep people at distance, but Kylo Ren doesn't necessarily do that, and he just looks like he's struggling the entire time despite supposedly some elite training. There it is. They use the van braces to block the lightsaber, which again I don't know what kind of metal that was. Looks like the same as the helmet, and therefore I think he should not have punched the guy earlier. That probably really, really hurt. Okay. something happened there. So the dude who was dying, I think, kicked him, or his lightsaber got stuck. And anyway, he's now looking at fighting hand to hand with a Praetorian guard. And this is my beef. With the scene in general, I think this is a good moment to kind of break it down. So the problem I have with these lightsaber duels, they're flashy, they're visual, they're pretty to look at. But the problem is that they're not believable, and they, to the point where it jolts me out of the story, and I really can't. It's hard to just enjoy it because it just looks so bad, and the stakes. So there's no stakes because, like, here in this moment, you would think that someone who has stopped a laser, a stormtrooper laser no less, midair, like midair, would be able to use the force, or would think to use the force in this supposedly highly tense confrontation. And arguably it should have been done from the beginning, right? Because we're talking about non-force users against force users. I get it. They wanted it to be this big, intense fight. But it's not viable. In this universe, with the skills and the powers the characters supposedly do have, I just think this entire scene, as cool and as visual as it looks, it just doesn't make sense. What might have made sense is if they had not beheaded Snoke, and it's kind of ironic he got beheaded because his head's so massive, and he had fought them, or something along those lines. They could have made this fight a lot more coherent. It just kind of makes sense, some of the decisions they're making. But it's hard for me to believe that Kylo Ren and Rey are struggling for their life when they do supposedly have the Force. And the sequels do a lot to try and negate the Force and to make it something it isn't. In fact, post Lucasfilm acquisition, that is a very common theme that you'll see, is where the Force is reduced from the original vision George Lucas had for it. However, I just think it's kind of egregious the way that we're pretending these guards stand any chance against two Jedi. It's just kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, I think that's ultimately my beef here. I think too, another problem I have is it doesn't make sense. Since Snoke is dead, these guards should technically be reporting to Kylo Ren. He's technically their new master, so it's like, what are they fighting for? Like, the Emperor's dead. Doesn't make sense. Okay. And he catches the blade. All right. Well, guys, I don't mean to pause it every 3 seconds, but another issue. So this guy right here, there was this whole scene where he breaks his weapon in two. He has two weapons. Now watch closely. The camera pans, and nothing has happened to his left arm. He was holding a weapon there. Now it's gone. Now it's magically disappeared. So this would have been an opportune time for him to stab her in the back, and he doesn't. It just disappeared. Again, sloppy, messy, ill choreographed. It's horrible. Okay, and now let's talk about physics. Rey is holding back his arm. You'll see this in a second. She's holding back his arm, right? Because he's trying to stab her. The second that she lets go, that weapon is going through her neck. Like, there's no if and buts, nothing. She's holding back his arm, supposedly. Right there, his weapon is going through her neck. Also, she drops it. There's time. There's just plenty of time. Like, what is he doing? Look how long this is. And then she swipes and then kills him. And it's like, okay, this is just what I'm talking about, where it's this Disney cheeseball fight scene that really doesn't make sense. And I get it. We're supposed to use our imagination and whatnot, but I mean, it's pretty bad. All right. Stabs the guy through. Again, still not using the Force. And there we have it. There is our Praetorian Guard fight scene between Rey and Kylo. A lot more dramatic than Yoda.